In just 1 week, Jojo Siwa was homophobically abused for being a lesbian.
If I stay longer than 4 days, you won't be gay anymore.
I can guarantee I will still be gay and I will still be in a very happy relationship.
I'll tie you up.
Cheated on her partner with a man a decade older than her.
Did you sleep together in that bed?
No.
I'd be prepared for your girlfriend to throw some punches.
And finally came to realise that she was in fact not a lesbian. All live on Great British Television.
And I've always been afraid of feeling queer.
Don't, this
But
is
like,
you.
I've always said like lesbian, right? But I feel like so
This is you.
queer.
Before we get into any of that, in the last video, a lot of you were very worried at the ominous mark in between my two eyebrows, which is very sweet. I appreciate how much you care, but don't worry, it was just a mere scuffle. And if you think that's bad, then you should have seen the other guy. So like the video and subscribe to the channel to prevent any future skirmishes. Anyways, Jojo Siwa is a name that I'm sure you've all heard of, and despite me never talking about her on this channel before, I am going to proceed with this video under the presupposition that if you've clicked on, you know who she is, at least to an extent. So this story takes place long ago, like 3 months ago, in a galaxy far away. America, when Jojo Siwa got into a relationship with an Australian influencer by the name of Kath Ebbs. This video that you're seeing right now on Kath's account has 25.5 million views, so very clearly, people care a lot about Jojo Siwa's love life, for whatever reason. I can't say I spend my days worrying about who Jojo Siwa is dating, but whatever floats your boat, I guess. But anyway, a lot of people very clearly care about this relationship, right? They're invested in the two people, whether or not because they hate them or they love them. But that investment, that amount of care that people have regarding Jojo Siwa has ended up becoming her downfall because, as we just stated in the intro, Jojo Siwa recently cheated on this person. For context, we'll have a little look at what the relationship was like, at least in the public eye, before we move on, just so we know what people thought they were investing in. My American girlfriend is dealing really well with the TikTok ban. I'm no Shakespeare, but I'm guessing this TikTok was made around the time that it was being banned. Shakespeare's not a detective. That made no sense. I meant Sherlock Holmes, obviously.
Anything you'd like to say to that?
Have fun ignoring me now, bitches!
That is pretty funny, to be fair. I quite like that. Very clearly a response to the whole, like, ignoring Jojo Siwa trend that was going on for a while. And that right there is a pretty fucking good response. Like, that's actually, unironically, quite funny. Jojo Siwa might be one of those people who comes across a lot less insufferable and a lot more, I guess, personable on other people's accounts because she isn't really manufacturing her personality in the way that she usually is when she's on her own platform.
Jealous that I can still use the app and you can't.
Yeah. It's really heartbreaking.
You're sad.
I'm not gonna lie to you, as much as this video is about the bad things that Jojo Siwa has done recently, I honestly have to say that this video right here on Kath's account is the most likable version of Jojo Siwa that I've ever probably seen. She just comes across so much more real and, like, bubbly here, but not in a fake, manufactured, sort of artificial way like she usually does. Maybe it's the fact that she's wearing normal clothes, or she's talking to us like actual human beings, or maybe the fact that she's not talking to us at all and just having a conversation with a partner of hers. Who knows, but either way, the fact that she comes across so much more real off of her own platform is actually important for this video because, as a lot of you may know, she ended up on Big Brother in the UK recently, which is a show where they are constantly being recorded for 24 hours every day pretty much for like a week or so. So just like this TikTok here, she will not be on her own platform, she doesn't have control over the edit, she doesn't have control of anything, so it's probably the most real version of somebody, of a celebrity that we can get. Obviously not completely authentic because they are still aware that they're being recorded 24/7. You can't really keep your defenses or fake persona up for that long constantly. Some stuff is going to slip through the cracks for sure. It's the whole reason that people love streaming so much. You just get an undoubtedly more authentic view of a certain person as opposed to videos like these where I can control the edit and stuff. Now we're going to jump ahead a little bit to the videos of Jojo actually cheating on Kath on Big Brother, and then we'll go into exactly what the context is for these, how it got to that point, everything that led up to it, etc, etc. And hopefully after all that we can understand everything just a little bit more, right? Maybe not excuse it, but hopefully we can understand exactly what got everyone to the point that they are currently in. Now for these clips that I'm about to show you, I think it'd be fun to play a wee game that yous can all play at home as well, folks. A little game I like to call looking at Big Brother clips and trying to decipher whether or not exactly the clips being shown are definitive cheating or sort of okay. The title of the game does need a little bit of work, but you know, it's to the point at least. Like a normal game show title like Jeopardy, for example, it's like, what the fuck does that even mean? You don't know what that means just by the title, but this one, you do. I don't know about you, but I think I'm a bit of a fucking trailblazer, me.
Jojo and Chris are in bed.
I'll fall asleep.
I know, funny business tonight.
I'll sleep in strict.
Very funny business.
Okay, so where does sleeping with a man you just met like a day ago whilst he sensually rubs your back rank in terms of like the cheating scale? I would say that's like a solid 7 out of 10. You know, for me, a 10 is like full-blown steaming ham, licking bums, and sucking pussy. She says I'm rank, but just remember that this is purely for demonstrative purpose. Like, let's be honest, if I got caught licking someone's bum, you would consider that cheating, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's like, and that's top tier cheating. That's 10 out of 10 cheating. There's nothing that goes higher than that, is there?
Yeah.
Exactly, so that's why that's a 10 out of 10.
Because it could be like emotional too.
Emotional cheating, yeah?
Yeah.
So would you rather I opened up about my feelings to another girl or licked another girl's bum? Obviously, you'd rather the former. So that is a nothing point. Emotional cheating is like, that's like a 6 or 7 out of 10. But bum licking's a 10. I will not be disputed. You know what? You guys can tell me in the comments if you agree or not. If my partner was... I'm not a jealous person, but if she was licking bum, I would not be happy.
Don't mess it up.
What?
Don't mess it up.
Come on. Would I ever?
Yes.
Are you captain?
Don't try and carry favour.
What does that mean? Sweet talk the captain?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. No. I've already sweet talked her.
He thinks that it's gonna get him extra food. It's not.
She told me. She looked in my eye. The captain looked in my eye.
And said what? I said what?
She doesn't want to admit it, but she likes the look of a crew member. True though, isn't it? You could chop it off with that.
Okay, that one. They're standing a little bit too close, a little bit flirty back. That one's not too bad, considering that she was, you know, a lesbian at this point. Well, she thought she was, you know what I mean? Like, so we are all under the presupposition that she does not actually fancy this bloke, doesn't even find him attractive in the least. There's no sexual attraction there. This, if it was just this, it'd be fine. Like, this is fine. If she was doing that to someone, I'd be alright with that. I'd say this one's a 3 out of 10, depending on who you are.
I smell nice tonight.
You smell like food.
I'm fucking tired. What are you doing? How are you still in character? What are you
That's
doing,
a
you
full belly.
freak? Fucking end. I'm tired and I'm hungry and I get aggy when I'm hungry.
This is my ship, and I know when shit goes down on my ship.
I actually like this side of you.
Yeah, it's hot, isn't it?
Kind of sexy.
Yeah, I know.
Give me a good night, hug.
I'll come back. I have to grab all my stuff.
You're actually not staying with me tonight.
I literally have. They said to come grab all of our stuff. I have to go sniff out a feast that I know you guys had.
Yeah, that one's a 5. That's too much. You cannot be calling someone who's in a relationship sexy like that as a straight bloke. And then going in for a nice warm hug in bed as well. But let's bear in mind, before we move on to the next one, that Kath is in fact in Australia, sat down, watching... Well, actually, no, they're not in Australia. They're in Jojo's house in America, because Jojo Siwa is one of those people who jumps into a relationship constantly, right? They are never not in a relationship. Like, before this person, they were with an artist called Dankyjabo Wilson, and there was some controversy there because there was a bit of an age gap or whatever. This is like a 10-year age gap. He's like, Chris is 32, so, I mean, if that was bad, then this is horrific. But either way, that relationship with Dankyjabo only lasted 3 months, and oh, would you look at that, this relationship with Kath also ended up only lasting, get this, 3 months. I'm starting to notice that there might be a little bit of a common denominator with the person in these relationships that doesn't exactly know how to work them. And, it's not Dankyjabo or Catherine. I feel like everybody has someone in their life who can never just be single. Like, they always have to be in a relationship, even if they know it's not exactly gonna work for them, right? And for Jojo Siwa especially, it's different, because the second she gets into these relationships, they immediately move into her house, they're doing everything with her, and it's this whole crazy song and dance. It's performative, right? And when you performatize your relationship, I think it's just bound to work less often. In my mind, if you're moving in, like, first week, then it's destined to fail. A good relationship is like a Boeing 747, right? A little bit of a running start, and then just a little bit of a takeoff, and then it just goes up and up and up, and ideally it'll just keep going up for the rest of your goddamn life. But Jojo Siwa's relationships are like goddamn helicopters. They start here and they just right up immediately. And, yeah, it just don't work like that, in my opinion. We're not helicopters. We're Boeing 747s. What is this? Before I've even played the video, yeah, this is dodgy. Oh! He's just kissed her. Oh, and she pulled away, and he fucking pulled her back in! No. No, you're not having, you can't be having that. No way. That's not acceptable. On either end. If I'm Kath watching that, I'm pissed off. I'm livid at this point.
Oh, it's my finger, don't worry. Would I ever?
Yeah,
Probably would, actually, yeah.
I know.
Right, I mean, this is just like a 5-second clip, but there's just so much to unpack. She's laying down, like, I don't know if this is a reference any of yous will get, but you know Sonic X, that fucking Sonic anime where for some reason Sonic would only sleep on the rooftop, but he'd do it in that exact position. And then Chris, the patron saint of pussy, comes over, bops her on the nose and pretends as though, like, he kissed her or something, and then goes, oh, don't worry.
Oh, it's my finger, don't worry.
But to be honest with you, she don't look that worried, so I don't know what the point of that. In fact, if anything, she looks fucking beaming. She looks more disappointed that it wasn't an actual kiss. Mate, look how happy she looks.
Probably would, actually, yeah.
I know.
And she knows that he would kiss her, so what, they're like aware of each other's attractions to each other, whether or not they're real. This is Big Brother, let's remember, so who knows whether or not they're acting here, but if this is real, then it's like, either you actually like him, or you're leading him on when you have a partner, and I guess I don't know the status of their relationship, maybe they're open, but as far as I'm aware, they ended up breaking up after this, so I can only assume that they are monogamous, or supposed to be at least. Either way, this here is a 6 out of 10 on the cheating scale. I know you guys might think that that's a little bit low, but let's remember that 10 is licking bum.
What's gonna happen today, big brother? Oh, God. Morning, Jojo.
Did you sleep together in that bed?
No.
I'd be prepared for your girlfriend to throw some punches.
Oh, God, no. She doesn't care.
Why does it seem as though that Scouse lad is like the only one who can figure out that this is not exactly the most ideal situation here? You fucking cheating bastard, you, like, you can't be doing that. He's fucking, and he's bang on, like, if I am Jojo Siwa's partner, I'm throwing punches all over them, I'm knocking every fucker out. This is like this is an 8, they're just sleeping with each other, they're sleeping with each other, they're fucking close, they're cuddling up, although I will say, she says that her partner won't care. She refers to her partner as a she or a her or whatever. I think that they're non-binary, so to be safe, I'll use they, them, but maybe they go by she, her as well. I mean, of all people, I would assume that Jojo knows their pronouns, but, you know, just to be safe, I'll go they, them.
God, I love that little sucker. I do. I do have beef to pick with them, though. They didn't even say in the note that they love me. I will not let them live that down.
Right, so this is Jojo Siwa reacting to a love letter, or just, I guess, a letter to the house that was sent by Kath. And Jojo's very angry that Kath didn't write I love you in the letter. I mean, I don't mean to be a dick here, but can you really fucking blame them? Like, they are watching, all the way from, like, Australia, wherever they are, on British television, you literally sleeping with other men, getting, like, fake kissed by other men, cuddling up with them, they're like essentially scratching your back and shit, you're in the pool skin to skin. I don't exactly blame them for not saying I love you in the letter. They might be rightfully a little bit annoyed at the very least, but if they're more of a normal person, just like that Scouse lad said, they're fucking throwing punches. Everyone around them within a 100-meter vicinity is dead because they just couldn't contain their fucking rage. If the general population of kangaroos in Australia goes down anytime soon, it's because Kath went out and boxed them all to take her anger out.
Where was my I love you? Where was my I miss you? Like, happy you're keen to see me when I get out of here. Keen to see you as well, but come on, Baba. Give me a little something, something.
You're lucky that she didn't just send a picture of a monkey pissing into their mouth and a middle finger for all you care. Because in all honesty, that's exactly what you deserve when you're treating them like this on national television. The fact that they didn't say in their letter that you're an absolute wally and that they're breaking up with you immediately, and that when you leave the house, you've got no one to come back to, is honestly a miracle, and they're way more patient than I am. If I was to guess what's happening here, I would assume that they are trying to remain civil, but deep down they're pissed, and they know that when Jojo leaves the house, oh, they're gonna have a talk. And I don't mean a talk like a lovey-dovey talk. I mean like a, you know, when you get them texts from your mum, like a we need to talk, with a full stop at the end. When someone puts a full stop at the end of their text, you know shit's about to get real.
Oh.
Come on, Mickey.
Right, lick that off, please. That has to go. Please lick that off. No, like, lick it. Please lick it off.
Oh, please, Jojo. Lick my shorts, Jojo. There's chocolate on my shorts, please. There's no other way to get the chocolate off my shorts than to lick it off. If she fucking does this, then, oh man, that's like a whole nother level of degeneracy. Have some bastard shame, woman. Don't lick this random bloke's short. They met like 2 days ago, by the way. These Big Brother people don't stay together for more than a week.
Start there. Imagine that wasn't chocolate. Lick it, you freak.
What is that? What is this? What do you mean imagine that wasn't chocolate? What the fuck is he referring to there? He's calling her a freak for not licking it with the viscosity and power that he expects. You're not in any position to call someone a freak, my friend.
Imagine that wasn't chocolate. Lick it, you freak.
You have to, like, bite it off. It's a pretty good job on my behalf.
And this bloke's just fucking watching it all happen. It just cuts to this random Donny. I don't fucking know who he is. Just watching it all with a face of consternation. That's the best way I can describe it. Imagine that wasn't chocolate. Mate, that's like, imagine that wasn't chocolate. That's like harassment, surely. Like, if I was there, and that was my girlfriend, and they said that, I'm throwing hands. You will have no choice but to face the wrath of my devastating left hook. What are you laughing for? What are you laughing about?
I'm sorry.
Why are you laughing? They were saying they missed you. I fucking didn't. Anyway, we'll look at some more clips of the cheating later on, because yes, there is a lot more, and a lot more egregious ones, believe it or not, but we'll rewind a little bit and actually look at the context behind this situation, starting with Jojo Siwa's Big Brother introduction.
The fans have dubbed me the CEO of gay pop, so that's me, baby.
Did your fans label you the CEO of gay pop? I think you just labeled yourself that, and now you're trying to, like, shift responsibility over to your fans. This is like if I started an interview off with, like, yeah, my fans have sort of labeled me as the most handsome, sexiest man ever to live, but not my words, by the way. That's what they said. I'm not saying that. Yeah, you know, my fans have labeled me as the supreme leader of the 1 meter gang.
My name is Jojo Siwa, and I am a singer, performer, I'm an influencer. I'm a superstar, baby. My social media following is crazy.
Can I just say, right, because I said this the other day, recently I've been watching Arcane. I'm halfway through season 2, so don't spoil anything, you fuckers, but something I clocked was that Jojo Siwa and Jinx from Arcane have, like, the exact same mannerisms, cadence in their voice. Like, they're very fucking similar. Maybe not in terms of, like, personality or fighting ability, but everything else, like, honestly, it's like they're twins. When I listen to Jojo Siwa and, like, watch her in this interview, all I hear and see is Jinx from Arcane. Usually I'm worried about making references that my audience won't quite get, but knowing you fuckers, you've all definitely seen and love Arcane. So I'm not worried this time, because I know my audience.
I don't think there's any hiding me in the Big Brother house. When people first meet me, they're like, who is this 21-year-old? Oh my God, she's gonna be so annoying. And then they get to know me and they're like, wait, this bitch is funny. Can I swear in the Big Brother house? Good. Oh God, this could be great or this could be horrible. See y'all in the house.
This must have been so fucking awkward to film, like doing all these facial expressions and like dances and shit. Was there any music? I bet there was no music on the day. I bet they were like, just like, Jojo, can you just do a bunch of shit? And we'll record it, and hopefully we could use it in a way that doesn't look absolutely pathetic. Jojo Siwa's 21. How old is Jojo Siwa? 19th of May, 2003. Oh, shit. Jojo Siwa's older than me. I don't know exactly what to do with that information. I'm just shocked. I wasn't expecting that. I could have been in the same Dance Moms group as Jojo Siwa. Oh no, I think she would have actually been in the year above me in school. I'm not quite sure, but I think so. Anyway, swiftly moving on to everybody's favorite pastime, a little bit of homophobia in the morning. So let's have a look at this Mickey Rourke clip that went very popular at the beginning of this Big Brother series, where I haven't actually seen this clip yet, but apparently it's really bad. I've seen a lot of headlines and people talking about how Jojo Siwa was basically hate crimed on national television, so if it is as bad as it seems, then yeah, it's something that definitely is important for this video, especially because, from what I understand, this is what led to the whole Chris and Jojo sort of fiasco, because that started with Chris defending Jojo from Mickey Rourke.
Here. Come on, let's go on a journey.
So do you like girls or boys?
Me? Girls.
I know, I can tell.
My partner is non-binary. That's the vape smoke room.
Just think, in 4 days, we'll never see each other again.
Four days.
Nah, babe.
I'm trying to last 4 days. If I stay longer than 4 days, you won't be gay anymore.
I can guarantee I will still be gay and I will still be in a very happy relationship.
I'll tie you up.
Fucking hell. What do I even say to that? I'll tie you up. That's like, I guess, I mean, obviously he probably doesn't mean it, but, I mean, that is just a threat of, you know, like, that's not, I'm laughing, it's not funny. I mean, just the base statement of like, oh, if I stay here 4 days, you won't be gay anymore. Yeah, try to think of a bit more of an original thing to say to literally every lesbian who's fucking alive right now. I think that they all hear that, like, 3 times a day from weird random fucks. Honestly, like this bloke. Like, if you were to picture the type of person who would say something so ignorant, you would picture someone who looks exactly like Mickey Rourke. This guy was like a fucking superstar back in the day, but like, of all these people, he's probably the most famous in terms of like in his heyday. He had a really shit boxing career actually, which a lot of people don't know about, but he ended up like fixing a lot of the fights so that he would win. I think it was his team who like fixed them and paid off his opponents to just fall basically and pretend to be knocked out. They say that Mickey had no part to play in that, but like who fucking knows? But this, I mean, we're 40 seconds into a 5-minute clip here, and yeah, this is straight up homophobic abuse. Now, I will say, and this is not a defense of Mickey at all, but it's not a fucking coincidence that Mickey Rourke and Jojo Siwa ended up in the same house on Big Brother. They brought Mickey Rourke in because he is notoriously unhinged and, I guess not notoriously homophobic, but he's very mentally unwell. And these types of comments from him come as no surprise to anybody who is even slightly familiar with the guy. This guy is not all there, right? Clearly he has a lot of very personal issues going on and just a lot of issues in general, both mentally and in his personal life, which I'm sure he talks about more on Big Brother. And that's why he was brought into the house, because reality television's all a big fucking annoying farce where they just want to stir drama up at the expense of anybody who might get in the way. The collateral doesn't really matter to them. Bringing Mickey Rourke in means that the LGBTQ community is going to be grossly offended at the television being shown. As long as that's something that'll up the numbers and up the amount of people talking about the show, it's a choice that's worth making. I mean, these people had fucking Trisha Paytas in the house. Like, they're no strangers to having very mentally unwell people in the house purely to stir drama and make controversial statements like this one. As much of a deplorable thing as this is to say, you know for a fact, and this is probably the worst part of it all, that the producers behind it all were probably frothing at the fucking mouth at this happening. It honestly wouldn't surprise me if they sort of whispered in his ear or told him at some point to stir some drama up or say some really controversial shit.
I can promise you that won't happen. I dare you to try, you'll be the one tied up.
You're an actor?
No, I do TV stuff though. I do TV shows. I do a bit of presenting now. Maybe one day.
Maybe.
Also, I hate to sort of end the spiel with this, but he ended up being kind of correct, because by the end of the 4 days, Jojo Siwa was in fact not really a lesbian anymore. Obviously not because of, I guess in an inadvertent way, kinda yeah, because of Mickey, because Chris stands up for her now, and that begins their relationship. And I say relationship in heavy quotation marks, by the way.
And then you had all the strikes, didn't you?
Yeah,
I bet that, yeah.
There was a long one.
No. What was your opinions on that?
2 years of COVID, and then a 7-month actor strike. I had to borrow $500,000 from the bank to get by and pay bills off. Everybody in those picket lines is an out-of-work actor.
Yeah.
Well, there would be the flavor of the month actors show up to just say how great I am. You know, I'm at the picket line with all the poor people that will never get a job.
So funny.
You are funny.
Aren't I wonderful?
Hey, bud.
Thank you, love. Aye. Aye. Good. Yeah. We all vote each other out.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually.
I'm going to vote the lesbian out real quick.
Jojo.
That's homophobic.
Eh?
So that's homophobic, if that was your reasoning.
Have you got any anyone you want to vote out? Well, no, we actually can't discuss this. No, we can't discuss this. This is undiscussable.
The lesbian I'm going to vote out.
What was he? Why is he? What is this? This is like blatant, just blatant homo. He's not even trying to hide it. It's just blatant homophobia. I guess he's gonna use the excuse of like, oh, it was just a joke sort of thing. But like, you don't fucking know each other. You can't make these sort of jokes to people that you've just met. You know when you just meet someone and like there's a bit of a feeling out period where it's like round 1 of a boxing match. You throw your jab out, you feel everything out. Can I make this joke? Is this too far? I'll start slightly like tame and see how far we can go. You know, you're trying to figure out where each other's boundaries lies. This guy just goes fucking straight balls to the wall. Fuck you, you lesbian. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts dropping some fucking slurs soon. I'm gonna tie you up. Threatening on her. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This guy's a fucking creep. As much as it may be partially manufactured, and as much as he was definitely brought in to stir this type of shit up, it does not make him any less of a fucking creep.
Which JoJo's real? JoJo, right?
Yeah, Jojo.
JoJo.
Lovely lady.
Is she?
Lovely girl, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good lad.
Appreciate ya.
She's what I call some woman.
I need a fag. Not talking to you. I need a fag.
So obviously that's him referring to a cigarette. We call cigarettes that here in the UK. But like, first of all, the bloke's American, so I'm not sure that's definitely not a part of his vocab. He's just sort of taking the piss because he's here in the UK, I guess, trying to like appease the people who may be watching this show the most. But I mean, at the base of that joke, it was very clearly just so he can make, like, a really shit remark at the end of it. Oh, not talking to you, by the way. I'm talking about cigarettes. Get it? It's not even as though these homophobic remarks are in, like, you know, like, spaced out. These are quick succession. It's like he's trying to fucking 100% speedrun making the gay community hate you. As well as anybody else who is even a little bit clued up on how distasteful this shit is.
I need a fag.
Mickey, you can't say that, Mickey.
One breath at a time, troops. One breath at a time.
Mate, you're on your own. You can't say that, Mickey.
I know, but I was talking about a cigarette.
I know you. I know. Yeah, I know.
See you boys in a
See you,
bit.
mate.
Yeah.
Hope you find that cigarette.
Yeah, me too.
He's just from a different planet, bless him.
It's crazy to me that still exists.
Everyone keeps, oh, it's old-fashioned, blah, blah. You can't justify it because it's not right. You can't try and justify things which just aren't right. There's no point us sitting here and going, oh, it's like if it's someone's age. It's so like that's not a thing anymore.
But what I felt when you were over there was like you had my back. And to be honest, we've known each other less than 24 hours. You have no reason to have my back.
Because it's right and wrong, though, isn't it?
But it's between right and wrong, and that meant a lot, so.
Yeah, it's not about having your back. It's
Thank you. Yeah.
There's right and then there's wrong.
Yep.
You're right, though. That's not too bad, bit. Come on. Wait. You're getting upset, aren't you? Have a little cry. Crying is my favourite therapy in the world.
Well,
come on.
Welcome in.
Snuggling. It's a clean t-shirt as well. Now have a good cry, because that's you getting a bit of your anger and frustration out as well. You're such a cool dude. We love you.
That is a wholesome interaction to end the whole thing. I think they both handled it pretty well. Jojo didn't completely go off on him on national TV in front of everybody, in front of the whole crew, and tried to keep things civil, which is admirable of her, especially because she had every right to just fucking go off on this bloke. I'm sure she would have if he wasn't so old and clearly mentally unwell. And yeah, Chris did the right thing as well, standing up for her to the extent that he did, and a little bit of a cry whilst you hug each other is fine, right? This is like a 2 out of 10 on the cheating scale. I wouldn't have hugged them that tight if they're not my partner, but it's fine, right? It is fine. Obviously, the issue is that this sort of leads into everything else that we've already watched. We'll finish this clip first, though, just so we have the full closure of what actually happened.
Thank you. Sorry.
You got your slippers.
I want to apologize.
Thank you.
I just got a bad habit of having a short fuse. I don't mean that by it.
I appreciate your apology.
I hope. Okay, I do mean it.
I appreciate your apology,
If
and
I
I
didn't,
hope.
I wouldn't say it to you.
I know.
Okay.
I appreciate the apology, and I hope you enjoy your slippers,
Thank you.
mate.
A happy ending. You know, if this was all that happened, if this was the entire drama that come out of the Big Brother house this year or whatever, I think that there wouldn't really be that much to talk about. There was really distasteful homophobic abuse being held at Jojo Siwa. She got defended by Chris. The bloke ended up apologizing. It seemed relatively sincere. Obviously, the two aren't going to be fucking best friends after this, but there's no real animosity there. All's well that ends well. Bish bash bosh. We move on, right? Obviously, we don't move on because we know exactly where this goes. But before we talk about that, let's look at Kath Ebb's response to this whole drama.
A lot of people want to know my thoughts on what Mickey Rourke, however the fuck you say his last name, my thoughts on his comments towards my partner Jojo on Big Brother, and quite frankly, it is beyond disgusting, and it's taken me many hours to even process what the fuck I just watched. Not only because that is the literal love of my life and I want to protect her at all costs, and I feel so helpless that I can't be there to not only comfort her, but to also lose it at that fucking weasel of a man. But secondly, take the fact out that I have a massive emotional stakes in his comments towards her. It is also just rooted in misogyny and violence. I don't know if anyone kind of put two and two together. I've obviously seen a lot of the comments calling out his homophobia, which, yes, but also his violent language.
Well, I mean, yeah, it definitely does go beyond the homophobia, right? He literally threatened to tie her up. Like, there's no other way to put it. That is a threat to her. Now, obviously, it wasn't a serious, like, actual thing that he was planning to do, especially because, you know, they're on a fucking television set, and I'd like to think that the producers put a stop to that if that was attempted in any way, shape, or form, so I don't think he meant it like that. I don't think that that'd be fair to say, but just to say that, even jokingly, to someone you just met, is a genuine threat of and it should be taken seriously. That is fucking disgusting. And I don't blame Kath for being fucking irate at that clip all the way over in the States. She posted a second video, which I also think is quite noteworthy.
But something I want to add to the conversation is that this man has been charged with assault in the past. Charged and also accused many a times of heinous assault and violence towards women. And Big Brother thought it was a good idea to platform this man and essentially put other people like Jojo, my partner, in harm's way in order to get their fucking viral moment, which they got. They clearly wanted something like this to happen. There is a difference between entertainment, opposing political views, opposing ways of like existing in a house that make for like good TV and drama, but there is a fucking line to that. And Big Brother has beyond crossed the line, and I am livid. And the fact that this man has not been booted out of the house or was even allowed in there in the first place is crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're right. Like, the fact that he is still in the house is ridiculous, but unfortunately, the fact of the matter is, him acting that way is the exact reason why he's in the house in the first place. So they're not gonna kick him out for doing exactly what he was supposed to do, as fucked up as that is to say. You know, the whole cheating thing that happened, Mickey Rourke saying this homophobic bullshit, as well as a bunch of other shit that I'm sure happened that we don't know about because we're not interested in any of the other fuckers in that house. It was all part of their plan. They wanted this to happen. You don't put a man in a house like that, in front of all these people, one of which is Jojo Siwa, the most talked about lesbian on the internet pretty much. You don't put someone like Mickey Rourke, who's like 60 years old, very mentally unwell, and has been literally convicted of assault in the past, very dodgy criminal history. You don't put him in the same house as her, not expecting shit to go awry. There's no other way to put it other than that this is exactly what they wanted. I don't know if people consider this to be an unpopular opinion, but I think that everybody who worked on set, everybody behind this production who is responsible for the choice of not only bringing Mickey Rourke in, but also allowing him to stay after such deplorable comments were made, are all worse in this situation than Mickey Rourke himself. Not only because they're the ones who facilitated this all, wanted it to happen, and sort of brung it to this situation, allowed it to happen, but also because they're doing it all in a way where they will not get any flack for it, the fucking cowards. Because their faces can't be put on blast. They're just the producers, they're the guys behind the camera who make everything happen, right? They make the magic happen, they bring in the money, and then they promote homophobic abuse on live television. I hope yous are fucking proud of yourselves, but me personally, I think that you're all twats.
People that want to sit here and be like, oh, you know, you can't say anything these days, and like, he apologized and he was from a different generation. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he's been doing this for a very long time.
He's from a different generation does not what there is no generation where is just acceptable. There's no generation where threatening to somebody that you just met less than 24 hours ago is a normal, acceptable, jovial, haha, funny thing to do. And even if there was, like, fucking centuries ago, Mickey Rourke is not that old. You couldn't do shit like this in the 60s, for example. Like, there's no way when Mickey was a child, this was just acceptable.
There's a reason why he's a washed-up actor and had to get a $500,000 loan to survive. Because no one wants to fucking hire him. Because he's a troll.
So yeah, I think that's sort of the end of this whole Mickey Rourke chapter in this story, whatever you want to call it. So to summarize, yeah, Mickey Rourke is a huge twat, and the cowards behind it all, whose faces and names will never be shown to us, are even bigger twats. As you can see, this video's turned quite serious, so the next TikTok that we watch, I'm sure is going to be a very similar sort of vibe to what we've just talked about, right? Very serious topics on this channel. So here's a video of Jojo Siwa pissing on cat litter.
I really need a wee. Is this bad? Can you block the door?
Yeah.
And then I'll have a little wee.
Don't tell anyone I've weed though, alright?
Go for it.
Well, wait a minute, because you're giving me stage fright.
Well, close your eyes.
Close my eyes. Hang on. Okay. Oh my god, I have weed. Oh my god. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Look at it.
I'll be honest. I don't like this Chris bloke. I don't like Chris Hughes. I don't know much about him before this. I think he was on Love Island, so immediately, by default, I don't like him. But from everything I've seen so far, he's, you know, getting all close, touching someone up, sleeping with someone who he knows is in a relationship on public television in front of the world, which is shameless. Obviously, JoJo's worse because she's the one in the relationship, but it's shameless from Chris as well. And then even with, like, the homophobic abuse thing, yeah, he stood up for her, but then he was acting as though he was doing this, like, incredible thing. You could tell he was very, like, aware of how people would see him standing up for her. In my opinion, at least, I saw it that way. When in reality, ideally, in my opinion at least, everyone I know would have done that without a second thought and not even spoke about it. Like, you don't need any thanks for that sort of thing because it's the normal thing that everybody should be doing in a situation like that. He also seems just, like, thick as fuck. Like, why is he so surprised that he's peeing? Like, what do you mean? You're the one controlling it. It doesn't just happen without you knowing unless you've got a prostate issue. Are they not allowed? Also, are they not allowed to use the toilet? Like, what's actually going on here? Why are they doing this? What is this show? How do we go from vile homophobic verbal abuse one day to pissing in a litter tray the next day?
I'm just gonna, okay, hold on. There we go, you ready?
Yeah.
Set?
Yeah.
Why is he watching so He's looking at, oh my god! Mate, look at the view that he's getting! And the close-ups, he's fucking, mate, I know I keep swearing, more so than usual, but this bloke is weirding me the fuck out. He's literally staring at her. At least Jojo had the decency to look away.
Yes. Right, that's good.
Alright.
Let's see it.
We're in. It's pretty good work.
Jojo, okay, this is like really pedantic here, but in the first shot, Jojo was wearing white shorts, but then when she gets up, she's wearing black shorts. That means that they did at least 2 takes of this. If this was the best take they could get, I cannot fucking imagine what the first take was like.
Now flick it with your feet.
Yep.
Or your paws.
Where does pissing in front of somebody else whilst they watch you intently rank on the scale of cheating? Honestly, yeah, I would have to rate this like a 9 out of 10.
Really?
This is 1 below bum licking.
Didn't you say your voice was working? Oh, you're fine. Let's go. Stop. Why is that the worst stop? What? Stop. What is that? My face looks like a
Okay, first and foremost, is there someone snorting fucking lines in the background of this video whilst they're recording the TV? Why are you snoring so goddamn loudly? I'm guessing that's not the person recording and someone's sleeping in the same room. I don't mean to be rude. Can you wake that fucker up before you record this shit? This is an assault on everybody's auditory experiences right now. Secondly, though, this is an 8 on the cheating scale. Because not only are they being weirdly touchy with each other, so it's like, it's reciprocated this time, but also they're complimenting each other in ways that only intimate, like people in intimate relationships would compliment each other.
You okay? Fine. You need a morning hug?
I missed you when I was sleeping.
Yeah. You missed me?
When I was sleeping, yeah.
Why didn't you have a dream about me then?
Because I was dreaming about my friggin' old school teacher.
What'd you dream about him?
I don't know, weird, like weren't even at school. I was a concerning part.
I was about to rate this one a 5, but I honestly think that's just because I'm comparing it to everything else we've seen. If this was the first clip that I had seen today, I think I would have given it like a 7 or an 8, because this is not acceptable behavior when you have a partner and you're in a monogamous relationship with them. You can't be acting like this on live fucking television, basically embarrassing the fuck out of them. Like, you're treating her like a fool. This is just fucking, like, this is just like completely disrespectful to your partner. And the fact that you're not considering how disrespectful this is and wondering like, ooh, why didn't they tell me they loved me in their letter that they sent me? You are thick as fuck, lady. And I don't even have as much of a problem with Jojo Siwa as a lot of people have. Like, I actually don't think Jojo Siwa, before this controversy, I don't think she had actually done anything that warranted that much hate, which I know is a controversial thing to say, but that's the reason why I never made a video on her until now, when something video-worthy has happened, because to me, Jojo Siwa was one of those people who people just love to hate for no real good reason. Like, I'll for sure, she's really fucking cringe. Like, she's definitely one of the most cringe individuals to talk about, and she's a lot of fun to make fun of, right? Without doubt. Like, I understand that, and that's fair enough, right? She is very, very cringe. And also quite annoying at times, and egregious, and insulting and, you know, embarrassing, right? But not a horrible, immoral, disgusting wretch of a human being like a lot of the other people that we cover on this channel, right? At the end of it all, she is somebody who was abused heavily in her childhood by the people who she trusted the most in her life, most notably her mother, and also Abby Lee Miller, who was the host of Dance Mums, and that whole pageant mum bullshit is notoriously abusive, so I felt bad for Jojo Siwa because she didn't have a fucking prayer from growing up, basically. Like, when you're famous from 9 years old and treat like that so publicly, of course you're not exactly going to be the most, I guess, likable personality in the world. You're gonna have a few screw looses, right? I'll put it that way. So everything that she had done prior to this point, I just saw as a bit cringe, yeah, but not like disgusting or bad morally per se. I know she was involved in that whole XOMG pop thing where a lot of kids were abused, but I do question just how much involvement she had in that whole procedure because there isn't much evidence either which way. I know her mum was heavily involved and we have a lot of evidence that point towards that direction, but Jojo Siwa herself, whilst yes, she still publicly defends her mother, so she's not innocent by any means, but she's not a deplorable piece of shit person in my opinion. This is the closest that she has gotten to that sort of label, I guess.
Writing secret messages to Chris last night.
Yes, she was actually, yeah.
What was the secret message?
It's something that I'm not ready necessarily to be open about or upfront about, but it has to do with gender and how do I feel, and I'm let's put it this way. Oh my god, this is a lot. This is a lot.
Is it?
Yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot.
She's alright, she'll get there.
I'll be fine. Essentially, you have female, you have male. I've met a lot of females, love them, don't feel like I'm them. Met a lot of males, love them, definitely not them. Met a lot of people in my life that are non-binary, and these beautiful non-binary people are who I feel the most like, and it's, I don't know, it's not something that I want to say about myself yet, but it's something that is confusing. And so that's probably why we're talking about it last night.
Jojo, thank you for being so honest and sharing with Big Brother.
No, of course. It's important to be honest, and I think it's important to also show that it's okay to not know.
That was good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, good job.
You all right?
Yeah. Well, good. It's a great conversation, and one that I shouldn't be scared of having, but I just haven't had it.
Why shouldn't you be scared of it?
No, I think just because I don't know myself all the answers, you know what I mean? And so I think we're good. It's great. There's nothing to do, nothing to change, nothing to think about, nothing, no different way to think of anything, you know what I mean? Everything stays the exact
I
same.
you want to see you.
Yeah.
I've been in this community for a while.
It's a good place.
And you're growing up in a public spotlight.
Yeah.
You don't need to give anyone all the answers.
Yeah,
ever.
no.
Ever. Even when you know them for you.
Well, it sucks to be Jojo Siwa because as uncomfortable as she clearly was about having this conversation at this point in her life, the Big Brother people went and aired this whole thing, like, to fucking millions of people. So now we all know. Thank you for that. I don't think it's too brazen for me to say that I don't think this should have been aired because now everyone knows. Everyone knows this conversation that she wasn't ready to have. And maybe she did give permission, I don't know. It would have been nice to see her give permission, I think, in my opinion. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they cut out her saying, please don't air this part, by the way. And obviously, they can't exactly chat shit about the show after they've been on it, right? Because there's no doubt in my mind, after the Mickey Rourke shit happened, people in the Big Brother house started to, because these people, they're not idiots, right? Well, some of them probably are. But I would assume that, like, a lot of them, the majority of them, probably came to the realization of, oh, yeah, these people don't have our best interests at heart. Like, they allowed this bloke in, they've not kicked him out, he's just threatened to someone, and that's almost encouraged. Like, he got a fucking warning, but like, what even is that? Like, who actually gives a fuck about that? Let's be honest. If these people were being honest, they would leave the show and be like, yeah, what the fuck were they thinking bringing Mickey Rourke on and letting him stay after doing that shit? But I'm guessing they signed NDAs, they did a bunch of shit, they're legally bound to not chat shit about the company, basically. So unfortunately for Jojo, this has all just been aired out there and she can't really do anything about it. But anyway, the secret notes that were mentioned at the beginning of that clip, I'll show you guys now. Now, I personally don't know how that, like, it looked like 2 letters, right? It did not look like a big message. I don't know how everything that she communicated in that clip there about gender identity could be communicated in just a couple of, like, flicks on somebody's hand. That's not me saying that that isn't what she was talking about, by the way, but a lot of people are speculating that she was basically chatting shit in that clip. Chatting shit as in, like, not lying about the conversation, but lying about what she was writing on Chris's hand. The popular opinion seems to be that she was writing BI for bisexual, as in she likes men as well, as in she fancies Chris, if that makes any sense. I don't know either which way, like, I'm not going to assume anything, but yeah, I wanted to throw this in the video because it is an important part of everything that happened.
Want to be my girlfriend? Sorry, I'm taken.
Okay.
Sorry. It's so hard because I feel like I'm so proud. I love having a partner, but like I wish nobody knew. You know what I mean? Like I wish I was better at keeping it private. Because I separate my life into 2 people, right? Jojo and Joelle. And typically when I date somebody, they start to really get to know Joelle, right? But they're both always present at all times. Right now I'm Joelle, but like Jojo's still here, you know what I mean? And Joelle runs Jojo, you know what I mean? That bitch has that bitch under control.
I understand wanting to keep your relationship private, but like, I feel as though she is actually chatting shit about this one. Because if you want to keep your relationship private, fair enough if some things slip out or whatever, but what the fuck is this? Every time you get into a relationship, it's like the main thing you talk about for the 3 months that the relationship inevitably lasts for. Why are you making this many viral TikToks with like 25 million views that you knew they would get that many views because you know that people really care about your relationship status? Like, you very clearly don't actually want to keep it private. I'm sure you do now. Right? I'm sure you fucking do now. You know, it is okay to be okay with your relationship not being private. Like, that's totally fine. I don't necessarily think you're a narcissist or an idiot for having a public relationship. I think it is smart to be relatively safe about what you do show and what you don't know. But like, yeah, I think this is a lie. I think the main purpose of showing this clip is just to show that she is, in fact, still telling people that she is taken, right? She's very, very much aware of the fact that she does have a partner, and she's telling everyone that she has a partner. There is no way that anyone in the house doesn't know that she has a partner, and yet she's still acting that way with Chris. No one's really calling her out on it apart from that Scouse lad, and I honestly don't know if the fact that everyone knows because she told them makes it better or worse that she's cheating so egregiously.
Let's get you over. Fall asleep. There's a lot in here at times. Yeah. Do I hear something that'll make you happy? I don't think I would be 90% as happy as I am in here without your friendship in here. That's pretty sweet.
Okay, now, back to the cheating scale. I'm gonna look at this clip as in, like, if my girlfriend was doing this to another girl that she is not attracted to at all, well, she's bi. And she's, like, she likes girls more than she likes boys. So if she was doing this to a girl, I think I'd have more reason to be worried, actually. Okay, if she was acting this way with a gay boy, I don't think I'd mind. But I've spoken to some people about these clips, and they said that they would have an issue if their girlfriend was acting this way, even if it was with someone who was completely homosexual. So I don't know if me personally, I'm just not jealous enough to take issue with that, if there's clearly no sexual attraction or attraction in general between the 2 people partaking in it, even if one of them is my partner. I don't know if I'm an anomaly for thinking that. I definitely understand if you would take issue with it, but I would say this is a 6. On the cheating scale, this is a 6.
Crazy that it's already Thursday.
What, darling?
Crazy that it's already Thursday. We're moving so fast.
Yeah, hope it hurries up. For me, I hope it hurries up now.
Why does Big Brother UK have a laugh track?
Yeah, I'm kind of like...
And why is the laugh track so abominably fucking awful? Do you hear that one woman in the laugh track? Ah! All she did was open the door and walk out. She must go fucking mental when someone, like, puts a toilet seat up or any other menial activity that everyone does every day. Mate, like, what is... What is this laugh track reaction? There's nothing. It was nothing. It was such a nothing situation. She started her sentence but didn't finish it, and people are slapping their knees. Oh, this is some good shit. Weirdos, man. This whole show is so odd and deranged.
You two need to either fuck or stop. And your mate's about to fucking pummel you when you get out. You're gonna have the front page spread in the sun.
This fucking Scouse lad with the blonde frosted tips on his head is like the only one talking sense in this whole bastard house. Like, he is just consistently berating and reminding them that Jojo has a partner who is going to batter her when they next see each other. And I feel as though if the cameras weren't on and they weren't on Big Brother, and if it was just the three of them, he would be going a lot harder, like actually giving them a piece of his mind. He's doing it a lot more jovially and more jokingly here, because in my opinion, it's pretty clear he doesn't want to start any like big confrontation, which is mature of him. I think he's going about it the right way, but like, he definitely has more to say to these people, and I think he would do if the cameras weren't on.
I hate toxic stuff in life. Like, I hate horrible energy. Like, it just brings you down. You can feel when energy shifts, and it's just not nice. Like, and I don't want to be emotional and sad, but you can't help it sometimes, you know? Like, people have made me feel like I can't have a friendship with Jojo. I feel like I have to justify a friendship with Jojo because we get on and we have fun. Oh, God, I'm actually really sad.
It's all right, Chris. Take a moment.
Shut up, you soppy twat. What is this show? Who are you? How can someone, like, actually act this? This is like some caricature type stuff. This is like, he's like a GTA character if they were written to be the biggest wet wipe possible. Like, just the least intimidating idiot ever. Fucking sat there oh, people are making me feel like I can't have a friendship with Jojo. Maybe it's because you're literally sleeping with her when she has a partner, you're cuddling up in the pool, you fucking pulled her in when she pulled away from you in the pool, you're watching her piss, and some other shit that I can't remember right now. There's so much that you're doing, and now you're trying to, I know this, you're trying to gaslight us all. You're trying to gaslight us into thinking that we're the bad ones, we're the unreasonable ones for saying that you can't have a friendship with Jojo. No, mate, not gonna work, mate. Those fucking tears don't work on me, lad. You're a fucking deranged creep. Stop touching women that you met 2 days ago who are 10 years younger than you, please.
What's up?
Nothing.
Tell me.
No,
mate,
nothing.
look, he just keeps touching her.
Just talking in there.
Like, why do you keep,
it
like...
just made me really emotional.
Look.
Yeah, good.
And I feel like...
Look!
Yeah.
Stop touching her, mate.
I feel very grateful.
Yeah.
I feel very...
Look, what is this? Well, there's no need to touch her. She's like
happy.
picking invisible lint off of her fucking lips like a monkey.
It's a confusing old world.
Yeah.
Stop touching women, mate.
I feel very lucky.
I know, he does. He does look a bit fruity, doesn't he?
Yeah. How happy I've been.
But he's not. He's a straight boy.
I'm so happy.
This is like top tier male manipulator type shit.
Aye, he's like a fuck boy.
I know we're all leaving.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, he gives me the ick and something.
You got a life, big life out there.
Yeah.
You know?
This is that guy who slides into your DMs talking about how much he loves Radiohead, he loves the Smiths, he loves the Arctic Monkeys. This is, yeah, he is pure male manipulator type bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, he reads feminist literature.
Aye, exactly. And he just loves eating pussy, and he can't shut up about how much he loves it.
Appreciation, because you're gonna have to give me
This
address.
is what I mean. Like, when you go for a hug with someone that you're friends with, you don't go below their arms.
Because that's appreciation.
Look,
because
look. If someone's taken, you don't go underneath. You know what I mean? You don't do that shit. You go like, you just like that. One arm below, one arm above. That's not, this is not how it's meant to be. I want to see, actually, did Jojo lead, is that Jojo's fault, though?
I send you a present when you get home, because that's appreciation. Because
no, that's on Jojo.
No, I can't, like, honestly, when people ask me about you, all I will tell them is, like, she is the sweetest, kindest, most genuine human being like you can come across.
This ain't real. He's being so fake. Mate, I think he's acting. I think this is an S-class acting job right here. I don't think he means any of this bollocks. I think he knows that his star is sort of going down a little bit. He's not very relevant at the minute, but getting with Jojo Siwa, the huge, massive S-list celebrity over in the States will up his popularity to like an insane degree. I think that's what's happening here. I don't think he gives a shit about Jojo Siwa. In fact, I'd be more worried if he did. They met like a day ago. This is insane.
Don't make me more sad right now.
No, but it's true. Like but that is you.
Love you.
You're honestly one. I love you. You're one of my favourite people I've ever come across.
You met 2 days ago, for fuck's sake! These fucking people infuriate me. You're one of the most genuine people I've ever come across. That's something you say to a lifelong friend, or like someone you've known for years. You don't say that to someone that you met a day ago.
Genuinely,
like,
back at you.
Literally, like.
And I never thought I would say that to a straight man.
Look, he's straight. He's not gay. He's not gay. What is this? Yeah, he kissed her. Mate, it just cuts to the Scouse lads on the bed, like, mouth open wide, like, what the fuck is going on?
Love you. Appreciate you. You're a special one.
They're doing this in the same room as everybody else as well. That's something I've not even fucking thought about yet. That fucking Scouser is laying there like, why the fuck are these two shagging in front of us? I'm glad that he's there though, because I am living vicariously through that blow. Anyway, here's where Jojo realizes that she is in fact not gay.
I don't know how this is gonna come out.
Sad.
But we've already been, but it's made me feel so queer. And I've always been afraid of feeling queer.
Don't. This
but
is
like,
you.
Like I've always said, like lesbian, right? But I feel like so
this is you.
queer. You know what I mean?
I'm queer.
But that's like I've never
we're not living in a world that's designed for us, Jojo.
I'm switching letters.
You're a queer bitch.
Fuck the L. I'm going to the Q.
No, mate, you're a fucking E for embarrassing. Why could she not just be like, oops, I realized now that I'm not a lesbian? Like, that's totally fine and normal reaction to have for people who are exploring or questioning their sexuality. Why did she have to go the extra mile of like, you know what, maybe I'm not a lesbian, I think I might be queer. So fuck lesbian! I would never associate with those silly tossers. I'll be honest though, isn't being a lesbian like already queer? Like if you're a lesbian, you're already queer. Queer is just anything that's not straight, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a lesbian, you're already queer.
Yeah, but I feel like queer is a label that you can pick and choose for yourself.
Okay, I'll be honest, I don't fully understand what queer means. I don't really understand what she means by this. It doesn't really concern me. It doesn't affect my life in any way. All that we know is that I guess she isn't lesbian, and she realized that she isn't lesbian because, presumably, of Chris.
One person who's been cheering you on is Abby Lee Miller. Take a look at this.
Big Brother House, have you learned nothing? Abby Lee Miller here.
One of the most horrific child abusers on TV, by the way. I have no idea why she's been given this opportunity. She genuinely belongs in a fucking prison. Abby Lee Miller is not a good... But to be fair, Big Brother has a habit of allowing terrible people into their house. So this is not even a surprise to me. If anything, she's one of the most... She's a fucking angel compared to a lot of the people they allow here. I mean, let's not forget that Andrew Tate's first public appearance was on Big fucking Brother. That says it all, really. Anyway, here's where we get to Kath's response to the entire Big Brother saga, because there is a lot for them to respond to here. And there's a lot of feelings that I'm sure they have that are very warranted, but this all begins with Jojo Siwa's mother, who has been manning the TikTok whilst Jojo Siwa was on Big Brother, because obviously you don't have access to your phone, so her mum was arranging everything, making TikToks, blah, 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 right? You get the idea. And she made this TikTok right at the end of Big Brother. Hey, ellipses, talking like a shy child, right? She's very, very affable, this woman. I can finally tell you all, Kath is there in London and they had a private reunion at the show off camera, and this is what they wanted. Trust me, I would have been there, but Jojo wanted her girlfriend there, not her mummy. Ah, Jojo's she's got jokes, let's give her that, she's got some fucking jokes. All good, I promise. Love, Dance Mum Jess. That post was immediately deleted and swiftly followed by Kath unfollowing Jojo Siwa on Instagram. Ooh, not looking too good. I don't think this is what they wanted. I don't think that everything is going as well as you think it is, despite Dance Mum Jess saying that it is. And this was all but confirmed by Kath Ebb's, like, 13-minute response video that they put out regarding this entire thing, tying up any loose ends and basically answering any questions that we may have. So, let's give that a watch.
I don't even know where to begin. I'm filming this in a complete state of shock, which I know is probably distressing and is probably giving go have a sleep. but I honestly feel so numbed out right now, and so disorientated that I feel like the only thing I have to do to place this situation is to finally address it after 2 weeks of sitting back, watching certain things unfold, and not being able to get any clarity from the person that it involved, who was what I thought one of the great loves of my life, and not of my own volition either, from what I was told over and over again. But to just state facts, and I guess to address this slowly, and finally, I guess, say something. It has come to my attention in the past 8 hours that everything we sort of saw unfold on what I thought was a fake reality show, where I didn't need to worry about the validity of my relationship.
Okay, so I guess this confirms that Kath was watching everything happen under the guise of this is all a bunch of fake shit. Obviously it's not real, it's just for clicks. There's no actual relationship here, and everything's basically being written and edited in a weird, manipulative way. Now, honestly, I don't blame them for thinking that at all. Not only because, one, just at the core of it all, they are very unjustifiable people, right? They take about an hour of footage from a 24-hour day and cut it up in the most manipulative way possible. That is a fact, right? And there is no doubt about that. So I do not blame Kath here for seeing it that way and calling it out for what it is. A fake reality TV show where everything is a bunch of bollocks. But second reason why is because I don't think Kath wants to believe that Jojo Siwa would be such a disrespectful and terrible partner to them. And because Kath doesn't want to believe that, obviously their mind is going to lead them to believe like, oh, this is obviously fake, even though to everybody else it's very obviously real, and there is some merit to it. It's a paper analogy that I used a couple videos back. If I wrote something on a piece of paper and held it this far back from you, you'd be able to read it perfectly, because you're so far removed from the situation that you can see the issues, the glaring issues. However, if I were to put the piece of paper right here and you were directly in that relationship, so close to the issues, you can't see them properly, right? You can't read what's on the piece of paper. And because Kath is so close to Jojo Siwa, they just didn't want to believe that what they were seeing was true, which makes total sense in my opinion. I can't imagine how they must have felt when they went all the way to London just to be slapped in the face with the cold hard facts of, yeah, I'm not lesbian anymore, and it's because of Chris. I kinda like him. Sorry for literally cheating on you every day so publicly in front of millions of people, though. My bad.
So, probably one of the most craziest, intense, awful, horrific experiences I've ever probably gone through in my adult life. To just give you my story, my comment. Yes, I was watching the same show as you all. I could not talk to my partner at the time, and it was very unsettling and very hurtful, and I did feel betrayed by the things that I saw conspire. I got offline because I couldn't talk to the person that involved, my partner, and I also, given all the context and facts that I had, by virtue of the relationship we had before they went into a social experiment, the messages I received before, the messages I received throughout, I don't know if anyone, as was mentioned on the show, I was receiving video messages every day in admiration of me and our love and our relationship, which indicated a sense of solidness and trust that I chose to believe and get clarity around. And I honestly thought I would come on here right now with my partner being like, it was just a TV show and it was all fabricated and we're happy as Larry.
That's horrific. So despite this being so devilishly real in such a fake show, they were literally sending Kath, like, video messages and words of assurance that it was all fake and that, like, everything was solid and the relationship was fine. That doesn't benefit Kath or benefit your show at all. Like, there is no reason to do that but to make Kath feel like shit and to lie to them. It doesn't help you with viewership. No one knew this was happening. I guess all it does is prevent them from publicly lambasting your show as it happens, as it goes on. But if anything, if Kath were to do that, then everyone would be thinking like, oh my god, Kath is lambasting the show and calling Jojo Siwa out for cheating, and Jojo doesn't even know it because they can't talk to each other. There's no internet access. So if anything, that would bring more eyes to the show. I don't think that was the motivation there. I don't think it was to keep Kath happy and because they had their best interests at heart or whatever. I think it was just a purely scumbag move. I didn't even know that was a thing that happened, but it doesn't fucking surprise me, like.
And I flew across the world to support and be there and hold that person in whatever they would be experiencing, leaving such a wild experience. And instead, I was dumped at the after party with Chris in the next room, which is fucking crazy to say out loud. It's truly crazy. Like, oof, there's a lot of processing that needs to happen. which maybe I should be doing before getting online, but honestly, I've been quiet on here for 2 weeks and I felt like I've sat in this, and I think now I'm at the point of, I guess, some level of clarity that I and I guess we, people viewing, weren't crazy to what they were saying.
So Kath, this poor individual, travelled all the way to London from the US, and Jojo Siwa, after cheating on them every day for like a week, changing their sexuality because of a bloke, finally meets up with her actual fucking partner, who are meant to love each other, like, dearly, and after all that shit, after treating them so disrespectfully, just decides to dump them straight up. Which, look, to an extent, obviously, it's not a bad thing that Kath got dumped, because if Jojo Siwa has realized that she isn't, in fact, the sexuality that she thought she was, and she just isn't interested in Kath in that way, it would actually be worse. It would be a worse thing for both people. It would be unfair on both of them for them to stay in that relationship. However, fucking send a message before they travel halfway across the fucking world to see you, like that should be the first thing you do when you leave the Big Brother house, is send them a message being like, look, I know you've probably seen some shit, I just wanted you to know, like, there's no hard feelings or whatever, it's not a you thing, it's purely me, but this isn't gonna work out anymore, instead of waiting for them to travel all the way to fucking London. It's bad enough that they're in London, but then you dump them there. It's like, oh, Matt, it's like, ugh. I understand it's a messy situation, but you could have handled it so much better. And Kath was getting a lot of shit here for being as public as they are about this whole situation. And I myself have been critical, to say the least, of people in the past who are so public about influencers who have cheated on them before. In my Handsome Fella video, I talk about this at length, but yeah, it's not as cut and dry of a situation as a lot of people may think it is most of the time. But here, there is no reason why Kath should not go public about this. They are not the reason that this is public. Kath did not make this public. Jojo Siwa was cheating on them in front of millions. This is her fault. And when you're cheated on so publicly, it's like, yes, you are allowed to reply this publicly. I have no issues with how Kath is going about this at all.
A lot of the things that were depicted were rooted in truth, and I have become collateral in that truth. I will take accountability for the fact that the internet, oddly enough, did warn me, and I had my own instincts, but I chose to believe in what I thought was, I don't know, the kindness and the connection I experienced on my own level, like in my own life.
Like I said, that's not their fault at all. They should not be needing to take any accountability for that. They couldn't see the issues because they were too close to them. Like, it's totally reasonable, totally normal. Everyone's done it at some point, so yeah, not their fault at all. Sucks to hear them say that, though. It sucks to see them sort of blame themselves in a way.
I guess, like, in an odd way, like, I don't know if you can, I haven't processed it enough to, if you'd want to call it love bombing or whatever, but it seems to me I have experienced a version of that. Being told that I'm the love of someone's life, being asked to marry them before this social experiment, being adored throughout behind closed doors, being hurt by what I saw but wanting to work through it and have a conversation and get clarity. And
yeah, I think that's absolutely what was happening here. I'm not as quick to throw the term out love bombing as a lot of people are, but like, I don't think that's an exaggeration here at all. They were together for like 3 months. You don't bring up marriage and talk about how they're the love of your life and all that shit when you've just got with them like a month ago. That's like years into the relationship type talk, in my opinion. You know, to say that shit and have them move in with you so quickly and show them this extravagant lifestyle and say these insanely like intimate things to them so quickly, I can definitely see why that's classified as love bombing in Kath's eyes. Especially because it's very obvious after how she treated Kath in the Big Brother house that she didn't really care about them at all, because I don't give a fuck what anyone says. When you treat someone like that who you're in a relationship with, you have no respect for them.
I guess further humiliated in a weird way, that's more of a feeling, I don't know if it's fact, but I feel further humiliated in the fact that in that believing of someone's words and actions was actually left a bit high and dry. The story goes right now, in the last 8 hours or whatever, I flew here and I went to the live show to show up for my partner, and support them in their experience, and then obviously later on address my feelings of like hurt and like work through them like all relationships do. But before I could even get back to the hotel, it's actually crazy, went to the after party with my, I guess now ex, crazy thing to say, and was dumped in the party. I was told that there are confused feelings there, do with that what you will, and I feel incredibly humiliated and I feel a bit embarrassed. I feel like the internet might have warned me a little bit, and I guess didn't listen, but I also just followed my heart, and I love really big, and I love really intensely, and I believed promises, and I believed gestures and words and acts of intense intimacy. I would love to say that I like had some intuition or something, but I don't know, my only intuition would have been like probably things that people already make their own judgments about the situation. But in terms of intuition, in terms of like seeing any of this coming, I can hand on my heart say like, no. Yeah, I think my reason for saying this is like, firstly, I probably pride myself on being honest online. I also felt the need before I go back to being online, I needed to address it, and I really just want to move on. And I feel like the only way to do that is to just like put it out there and be like, yep, this is what happened, and this is, you know. And also, I don't know, in my head I was like, I'm so in a state of shock. Like, as you can see, I'm smiling when really I'm so devastated, because I'm like, yeah, so shocked that I was like, you know, maybe this is a good time to just state facts and not feelings, and not come on here like crying my eyes out, which not looking forward to when that comes.
I think that's actually quite honourable to just, you know, get on camera, clear the air, which you kind of need to do because everyone will be bringing it up for the rest of your internet life if you don't bring it up or talk about it at some point like you are right now. But behind all of that, at the underbelly of this whole issue, this whole video, is the idea of you wanting to move on, which is totally reasonable and also respectable, that you don't want to milk this situation or base your future career or become the person who is famous for being Jojo Siwa's ex-girlfriend, which it would be very easy to do because Jojo Siwa is such a massive star. Like, you could very well go that way and probably make quite a good career out of it and make a lot of money, but the fact that you don't want to do that shows authenticity, in my opinion.
The emotional cheating, the overcrossing of boundaries, and the questioning of our relationship on national TV was not fabricated, and it took that person less than an hour to follow through with. Yeah. In terms of Mr. Christopher, I don't know, I have opinions, I'm not going to say them now. In terms of their relationship, that's their journey, enjoy. But yeah, pretty brutal. I feel pretty embarrassed, pretty humiliated, but I also feel incredibly proud of myself. I'm gonna cry, it's happening. Ooh, don't cry. I feel pretty proud of myself that I showed up as the partner and the person that I want to be.
Well, good on you, pal. I think this is a very respectable video. They gave out their feelings without trashing Jojo Siwa or Chris in any way, shape, or form, when I think a lot of people would have taken this opportunity to do so, and honestly, not even be horrifically unjustified in doing so, but they didn't, and I think that that is respectable. Hopefully they can move on from this, and yeah, I wish them all the best in the future. But moving on to the This Morning interview that Chris and Jojo did shortly after the ending of Big Brother.
You survived, Chris. Yeah, just about, yeah. It was tough at times, but an amazing experience, you know, 3 weeks, which...
It was 3 weeks. I thought it was 1 week, but it was 3 weeks of cheating. That's even that's 3 times as worse. Also, what the fuck does this bloke mean, you survived? And he's like, yeah, it was tough. I mean, you didn't go to fucking Vietnam. You went to a house with a bunch of influencers and sort of sat there and dilly-dallied for a bit and pissed on the floor. What did you didn't need to dog it out or anything. What are you talking about, man? You're just so annoying. I really don't like him. I really don't like him. I don't know if I'm being irrational, but like, something about him irks me.
I appreciate people who have opinions. I think when it comes to anything in life, I think it's good to kind of have your views on stuff, but we just had a great time. Like you mentioned, it was relentless. Yeah. Like, it was so relentless from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. And I always say it from when people view this. If me and you were best mates, Ben, and we lived together for 3 weeks, we would have niggles and we would fall out in that time, because when you're in each other's space and you can't escape each other, it would be kind of uncharacteristic to not have issues and little feuds with people. But that's why we kind of had each other in there, and it was so lovely because it was a nice thing.
This guy's fucking boring, isn't he? He's got 2 million followers. This guy's a fucking bore. Is he just one of those fuckers who's famous for being famous? Those people, you need to watch out for those people, by the way. Like, because in most cases, they are complete, like, you just don't want to be around those types of man.
And I sat with myself, and from that point on, I really realized things that I was okay with in my life that I should never have been okay with in the past. You mean your relationship? And just so many things. That is one of them.
Fair enough if you say like, oh, I realized that I wasn't, you know, the sexuality that I thought I was, and my relationship wasn't right for me. But to say like, I was okay with my relationship and I never should have been okay with it, is like, it's just a little extra level of like vim there that I feel is just a little bit grim, innit? Like, imagine being talked about that way after being disrespected so blatantly.
You did it very quickly. I mean, you sort of made those changes to the rap party, by all accounts. So your ex has sort of come out and talked about that as well. So that's obviously going to shine the light on it.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, that was not a plan. That was not an intention. That was not supposed to happen like that.
Yeah, I believe that. I don't think it was a plan, because it makes you look an utter twat.
Was your relationship and what's going on between the two of you a catalyst in that? Is there stuff go because there's clearly a very tight bond?
Obviously we're close, obviously we're tight, but
I think it's like our friendship is like, it's just a it's hard to explain. It's just a really strong bond between two people, which is just a strong friendship. And I think you can have like a soulmate friendship. I think that's a thing. Yes. And to me, it's like that energy of...
He doesn't give a fuck about her. He does not give a fuck about her. This is such bollocks right here. It's such bollocks. This is actually, I'm actually getting pissed off because I think she likes him a bit. I actually do think that she likes him a little bit, and he's completely taken advantage of that. The second they left the house, it was no longer the sort of lovey-dovey bollocks that he was... He was saying, I love you. He was saying shit like, I love you, you're the best girl, I want to kiss you. This is not platonic... Oh, you fucker. You slimy fucker. Platonic soulmate. Fuck off, you bellend.
So it's platonic right now, but Jojo, would you like it to be romantic? I mean, he's a gorgeous boy.
So are you, Ben.
He's a gorgeous boy, you're a gorgeous boy, you're a gorgeous girl. Look, he's a great guy. It is platonic. We have a lot of fun together. Life is life, and I don't know any future of anything, but I'm really grateful for our dynamic that we have and our bond that we have, and whatever life does, life will do.
Oh, this is painful. Because she didn't rule it out. The fact that she didn't just say, like, no, this will never be... It's like, oh, man. Yeah, she definitely cares about him. She definitely likes him. She's 21 years old. This bloke's 32 years old. He's fucking taken advantage of her. That's exactly what's happened here.
I think it's impressive how well she's media trained, but like that was...
No, she's very well media trained. Yeah, she'd do great in politics because she's a twat and she's a good liar. And when she wants to, she can actually be likable. I think at her core, she is actually like a good person, but she's been failed by so many people in her life that she's not been given a fucking prayer here. Like, she walked into that house and Chris saw dollar signs. He saw dollar signs when she walked into the house. He thought, this is someone who I can use to catapult my career into, like, international sort of stardom. Like, I'll be known in America now.
Was it a very conscious decision that you made to stand up for Jojo when Mickey spoke?
It's weird, this, because people have asked me this, and I'm thinking, like, did I do something wrong? Like, I thought we lived in a world. I think it was a very normal thing. I'm just surprised not many other people did.
Yeah.
Look... I know I need to be careful here because it is because it was homophobic abuse and it is a very touchy subject, but he's chatting shit. He's chatting shit. He sat there. How can you sit there and genuinely say, I'm wondering, like, did I do something wrong the way people are acting? You did. No, you're not. No, you're not. You didn't think, did I do something wrong? Obviously, you fucking did not think you did something wrong. You're lying. You're lying so that people can, like, react in a way of like, no, obviously you didn't. You're a great guy. That's exactly what... You're one of the best guys ever. Obviously you did nothing wrong. Don't think about yourself that way, mate. You don't think that. Stop fucking lying, you cretin. I really don't like him.
One of my best friends, Maka, who was like my tennis partner, my good friend, his family are, like, they're a well-to-do family, and they're very nice and respectful, and they were absolutely loving the show. And then Maka's mum was like, wasn't too sure on the literature. Like the only bit. Yeah, it was silly. It was fun. But we were so in character. When you do those challenges in there, like we are, some of us are like fully in character.
I don't want to listen to this guy. I'm done with this fucking interview. Of course he plays tennis as well, the fucking wet wipe. Nothing wrong with tennis. I just hate everything he does now. He could save a dying child from cancer, and all of a sudden I'm gonna hate people who save dying children from cancer. Alright, so with that, let's have a look at some of the internet's responses to this whole drama.
Jojo Siwa, the lesbian icon, is probably not even a lesbian anymore because of Chris stinking Hughes. The most weirdest man on frickin' UK Love Island known to man. From Love Island, Chris Hughes. My poor little brain can't take much more of this. It's not even my life, but oh my god, this is a lot to take in. Little Jojo with the bobo has grown up literally in front of us on national TV now, cheating on her partner. Oh. Said it once and I'll say it again, her poor freaking girlfriend, what is my hair doing? No one deserves to be cheated on or micro-cheating, whatever you want to call it. Actually, they were kissing, so they were cheating. No one deserves to be cheated on, let alone on national TV in front of the whole bloody nation to see. And with Chris Hughes, he gives me the EBGBs. The worst part is Kath, Jojo's girlfriend, was literally defending her a couple days ago. For what? Oh my god, it's so messed up. And Chris bloody Hughes from Love Island, out of all of the bloody people out there.
I don't know much about this person, but I'm gonna take a wild guess. I'm guessing that she doesn't like Chris Hughes very much. And you know what? Slay queen, I'm with you. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, so me and this lassie are now besties. I'm telling you guys, I've never used, anyone who knows me is probably shuddering right now, because I have never used the term slay queen in my entire fucking life. But I'm telling you, I relate to the hatred of Chris Hughes so deeply that it just had to come out. I hope I used it correctly and you don't fucking think that it was completely unnatural. I don't know who you are, Halian, but big up to you.
He said what? That is disgusting. No straight man is going to turn a lesbian straight, especially not an old creep like him. God, that is vile. Oh, I'll turn you straight. No, you won't, you misogynist. This ain't the 1950s. You can't just convert a lesbian to straight. Did you see the Jojo Siwa stuff? Yes, I saw the Jojo Siwa stuff.
Yeah, so this is like a bigger issue that I've not spoken about so far in this video, but it is very important to the story, is that this whole thing with Jojo Siwa has played into the incredibly harmful and homophobic, ignorant stereotype that gay people are just straight people who haven't found the right person yet. Because as much as it sucks to say, this does play into that stereotype, and people who think that way will use this as an example of why they are correct, when obviously they're fucking idiots. And it's tough, right? Because in a way, it's difficult to blame Jojo Siwa for that, because you can't help how you feel. You can't help how you felt before you went on the show, and you can't help you realizing that your sexuality isn't exactly the way that you thought it was before, right? So it's not really her fault in that regard, but doing it so publicly and cheating so publicly, it doesn't matter if you fell in love with Chris Hughes on the show. It doesn't matter if you came to the sudden realization that you're lifelong partners and like you're head over heels in love with him. You just can't do that on national TV when you have a partner. You wait until it's over, then maybe start talking to him after you've broken up with your partner and explain that your sexuality isn't what you thought it was, right? Do it in a more mature way. You can't blame her for turning straight, quote unquote. She didn't really turn straight, it's just she realized she was queer. But you can definitely blame her for the way that she went about it, which was grossly inappropriate, like without a doubt. Now, I kind of want to end the video with a wee segment on some of the past controversies of Jojo Siwa, like the one directly before this one, because I want to sort of connote to you guys my whole ideology that she isn't exactly the most hateable, immoral person on the internet, and that people just love to hate her. Even in this situation, I think a lot of people are taking it way too far and treating her like she is the most fucking immoral, despicable human being ever. She did a shitty thing, without doubt. But let's remember, she's very young, she was taken advantage of by not only an entire crew of people, but also a 32-year-old weird fucking bloke who knew that he could use her to up his career. And that's not even mentioning the very tumultuous upbringing that she had and the fact that she was famous at like 9 years old, and the abuse that she went through as a child, right? There is a set of circumstances here that inevitably do not lead to a life free of controversy. Now, without doubt, the way that she acted on Big Brother is still bad, and she shouldn't have done it, and it was immoral, and it was scumbag behavior. And the biggest victim in this situation is not Jojo Siwa, even though she was treated like shit, it's Kath. It's Kath Epps, without doubt. But just a wee showing of like a bunch of stuff that would happen before this situation that people would just unneedingly go so hard on her for when nothing that bad really happened at all. Like this clip, for example, where people are criticizing her for having a massive ego, so to speak.
I feel like I have faced almost every public challenge that there has been. I think just growing up in the public eye from a very young age, I mean, I started when I was 9 to be where I'm at now. It's a blessing for sure. But yeah, it definitely comes with its public struggles, but I'm grateful because I feel like by me going through them, I got to share what I went through with the world, and therefore other kids going through similar stuff, you know, they got to see me go through it and be like, ah, it's all right, Jojo did that, you know what I mean?
First of all, people took the piss out of this hairdo. I don't know if I'm a fucking weirdo for this, but I think it looks sick.
No, I like it.
That looks sick, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm not saying you need to love what she's done, but like, let's fucking acknowledge a good thing when we see it. That looks fucking cool. But yeah, people are saying that Jojo has like this huge ego because Jojo was acting as though her doing things inspires other people to do things because she, in fact, did them when she is in a very privileged position or whatever. This is the issue with being so public and this famous and this hated. Every answer you give to any question is going to be taken in the most bad faith, horrible way possible to paint you out to be the most egotistical, narcissistic arsehole that has ever walked the face of the fucking earth. It was a fine answer to the question, question. Like, it's not, and she has faced a lot of issues publicly. She was fucking abused for like a decade, all on national television by her mother and Abby Lee Miller, who is loved by people. A lot of this answer is just facts. A lot of it is just her being correct. And when she calls herself like this huge public star or whatever, that's not her having a huge ego. That's just her being self-aware. She is a huge celebrity. Like, she is one of the biggest people on TikTok. Like, she is very talked about. And then there was this whole like scamming her fans drama that just happened a little under a month ago, which people were blowing way out of proportion in my opinion, so we'll quickly go over that.
Siwa is officially heading back out on tour, and for the low price of $900, you can actually help her crew set up the stage as part of your VIP package. And no, I'm not kidding when I say that. The Dream Guest VIP option, priced at $900 per fan, includes an exclusive invitation to JoJo's live show setup and the ability to help the Dance Mom alum put together the show with song selection input. JoJo said, "You're gonna get to kind of help us set it up and make sure things are right." It is the most exclusive ticket that you can get for Jojo Siwa live, and you can see them load into the different venues. She even said you can sit in the DJ booth with her while all of this goes down. Or you can get out on the floor and get your hands dirty and help the crew put together the stage, and this is crazy. Like, this is actually crazy. Like, I'm so sorry.
Is it? Is it really crazy? This is like a normal thing that a lot of people do when they tour. And it's very deceptive of people to go, oh, the tour tickets are $900 fucking dollars. No, they're not. They're not $900. The Dream Guest VIP most exclusive ticket is $900. How much are normal tickets? Let's look. They're $65. It's like, it's so reasonable. Fair enough. I guess a little bit on the pricey side, but fuck me. Like, just chill your beans, yo. And then with the whole, like, setup thing, or, like, be in the DJ booth with her, that is insanely, like, close with Jojo Siwa. Like, that's very exclusive. $900, yes, it sounds like a lot of money, but from what I hear, there's only 4 available tickets for every leg of the tour, right? So you can only get 4 of these tickets per show. There's only 4 people. It's not as though it's just a big cash grab where loads of people can get this fucking experience, right? I don't know. To me, it sounds like an actually quite good idea for die-hard fans, because it's gonna make them really happy. You know, the 4 people who get that ticket are very obviously huge fans of Jojo Siwa, and to be able to have that experience with her, fuck me, they're gonna be elated. They'll be on fucking cloud 9, and good for them. I just don't see the big issue here, like, at all.
$900 without fees. But she's going to all of these different cities. I will say you also get like typical VIP stuff like signed merch. I think JoJo does like a Q&A and stuff. So if you're like a die-hard Siwanator, sure, knock your socks off. But I've never seen an artist offer a ticket where you can help the stage crew set up for the show as part of your ticket.
Well, obviously she doesn't mean fucking come over with a hammer and a helmet and like fucking pound the nails into the stage and build the entire thing like a crew. She just means like, oh, sit around, have some fun, maybe pull some shit and help us out if you want to. People are just interpreting it in like the most bad faith way possible because they don't like Jojo Siwa. And I get not liking Jojo Siwa. She's very cringe as an individual, and this entire thing has shown us that she isn't exactly the most emotionally mature person and probably shouldn't be online as much as she is, but unfortunately, that ship sailed a long, long time ago. But I'm just saying, it must be fucking tough being her when everything you do, even if it's really normal in the industry, is taken so bad faith and everyone deliberately misinterprets it to make you seem like a prick, when in reality, you're doing just normal things, sometimes even good things.
We also read about some VIP tickets that are priced around $900.
If you watch that video, you'll see what I said on the red carpet last night, but let me just explain a little further with detail on what the Dream Guest VIP is. This is the list of everything you get as a Dream Guest VIP. Let's go through it. I'm going to do these first 2 together because they go together. So the first thing is 1 general admission ticket to the show, and you get to watch a show from any designated audience area of your choice. So this literally means you can be anywhere in the venue that you prefer. Some people like the back, some people like the front, some people like the side. Wherever you want, we're going to stanchion off a little area just for you to have. Okay, exclusive invitation to JoJo's live show setup before the Q&A and sound check with JoJo. Now this, you're going to be able to come to the venue while we're setting up the show. You're going to be able to hang out, watch what we're doing, watch me test things out. You can hang out with me and come test things. Also, keep in mind, there's only 4 Dream Guest VIPs per city. So this is going to be a super intimate, like, friend vibes experience. You're also going to get to help me put together the show with song selection input. So when I said you're going to help me create the set, I did not mean the actual set, like building the set. I meant like the set for the night. You're going to get to have this part of the show.
Everyone knew that, by the way. Like, she did not need to clarify that. Everyone knew that, but they were just deliberately misunderstanding what was being said so that they could make a fucking viral TikTok. And it's so annoying. It's very annoying. I hate this type. This is what I really try to not do on my channel, is like over-sensationalize this bullshit. Like, I'm not being funny here. I'm reading this Dream Guest VIP thing list here. It looks fine. It looks totally inoffensive and fine. I have no idea why people are making such a big deal out of it. But anyway, moving on. Now this trauma dumping TikTok thing here, well, obviously she's talking about Abby Lee Miller's "Have You Learnt Nothing?" really famous clip thing, right, I guess. But you can't you can't play both sides. You can't say, this was a horrible thing I went through and it was horribly abusive and I can't believe this happened to me and so many other people. But then, on the other side, like immediately after, and to this current day, go, this Abby Lee Miller's a great person, it was this... It's like, no, you can't do both. You just can't. And it would actually be really good if you used your platform to denounce the people who are responsible for your fame, despite them being responsible for your fame. Like, you have a lot of power now in the dance pageant industry thing. If you were to call someone like Abby Lee Miller out for her abusive shit, like blatant abusive shit as well, you could actually do some real good. Yes, you're famous now because of it all, and your life may be great, but you need to understand that you are the exception, not the rule. It's just strange to make posts like this that are so, you know, accusatory and blatantly alluding to being abused, which she clearly was, but then go on to be so defensive of people like Abby Lee Miller and the whole concept of dance mums. Even starting your own, like, kids pop group, XOMG Pop, which has its own list of controversies. I know it was a bit of a longer one, but I think that's honestly all I have to say about this video and the whole topic in general, so hopefully you all enjoyed, and if there's one thing to remember about this entire situation, as much as it really is shitty the way that Jojo Siwa and Kath Ebb's relationship ended, at the very least, Jojo Siwa now has another dream guest for her podcast. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed. I tried something different with the lighting today. Tried to make it a bit more like cinematic, a bit better looking. Been experimenting a lot with like color grading and lighting recently, so hopefully you enjoy this new look. If you don't, tell me to fuck myself in the comments and we'll go back to the old one. But yeah, looking to try some new stuff soon, so hopefully you enjoy it. Other than that though, I think that's about it. So I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.